So when we start looking at opportunities, we have this thing called a balanced scorecard. And I just went through and created this one. This isn't based on any real numbers, but it's certainly real situations where we've got some ability to see, what's going on with our funding status, right? We can see, there's a lot of reds and yellows in there. There may be some opportunity to start asking some questions. Here's our logistics backlog, and then our what's the size of our operational needs statement backlogs? Do y'all deal with any of those operational needs statements? Usually, okay, so I see a couple of heads. And so it kind of gives us an indicator of where do we need to go look first, right? So this is, it's kind of close to this line. It's got some reds that we need to go take a look at what's going on. Here we've got a project cycle time that's where the little needle's drifting over into the yellow and red. So there may be some opportunities there that we go look at. So once that sort of thing is identified, we'll decide, okay, which is the product that we're going to go after, and we'll use a tool called a value stream map. Now it's got, in the middle are the activities, kind of high-level activities. How does our information flow? Is it electronic? That's what this little lightning bolt looking thing is. Or is it a manual push of information, which is what this straight line is? It'll list inputs from suppliers, who's the customers, and then we'll have this wall, this castle wall they call across. It's a timeline. It talks about what is the cycle time of this activity, and either how much inventory do we have. Think of inventory like how many. We all use email. Think about the size of your inbox, right? That's for us information workers. That's inventory. That's emails that we either need to respond to, or take some sort of action on, or just delete it, or we need to store for later. So that's a good way to think about inventory. A stack that's in your physical inbox, if you have one of those on your desk, for things that you need to review, things that you need to act on. It's the same thing. Or it could be, how long is the product sleeping between stations? When sleeping, that means it's waiting to be touched, waiting to be reviewed, waiting to be moved, those types of things. And so we'll add those up and we'll come up with a percent value added. But in here, so we list inputs from suppliers and outputs that go to customers. These activities are both value added and non-value added activities. There's a new word for you, value added and non-value added. We'll talk about that here in a few steps. The big separator between a value stream map and other types of process maps is that we try to have a lot of data on this. We use this as an indicator, and you don't see the dial charts or bar charts, thing like this that goes along with it. But we use those as indicators of where do we need to go look, where do we need to go touch part of the process. And it helps us to go in and nail down what, help us define the problem statement. The better that problem statement is written, the better that we have a chance of getting rid of that problem. And it's having a lot with a common understanding, which is why we use smart people like you to help fix the process. So then we put together an ideal state, and we think about, we close our eyes and we think, don't do this while you're driving down the interstate. We close our eyes, you can chuckle, it's okay. We close our eyes and we think about, what does this process look like in 5 years? Hopefully what we don't say is it looks like the same insanity and chaos and firefighting that we put up with right now. We think about, maybe, it flows better. We're able to process it in the same day that it comes in. Okay. We're able to deliver it right the first time, and we don't get back a lot of questions and things that we need to go tweak with it, right? And so we go through and we draw that into our map. We think about the perfect world. If this was the perfect, you don't understand. What you're talking about is perfect world. Yes, write it down. What does that look like? Unlimited money and resources, haha. Automation where needed. there's some opportunities to automate some of the process, because there's things that computers should be doing. Everybody repeat after me. Email is not a workflow tool. I don't feel you believe in it. We all are tied to email, right? Yeah, it's how do we manage the information. Think about shortened lead times, less headaches, bottlenecks, firefighting, that sort of thing. Okay, from that 5-year plan, okay, and this is a lot of stuff the leadership team is doing. We're not really expecting the yellow belts to execute this. But, so what are the things we go after first? Because we're not going to be able to take that step from our third world current state to this perfect world future state in 1 year. It's not going to happen. Teams go through this type of process and they identify all kinds of great stuff, opportunities. How do we go forward? But we can only execute so much at once, because you actually have a day job also, that you have to do. So we think about what can we execute in the next 12 months. That can go through and start to shorten lead time, streamline activities, fix the information flow, right? Does everything have to be push? Maybe we can install some pull systems. Maybe there's some points where the information kind of comes into a flow. Not that it's not shared with everyone, but it's managed appropriately. We're trying to meet what customer needs, trying to meet their requirements. There's big R requirements. There's also small R requirements, like oh, I want this on yellow paper. I don't want it on blue paper anymore, right? So here in the flow, we go through. Define the current state, future vision, future state, and put together an implementation plan of tasks, names, and dates. And at the end of the year, our future state, if we've executed everything, becomes our new current state. We take a look at our future vision. Does it need to change a little bit? Take that next 12-month bite and define what the future state's going to be, and put together an implementation plan with tasks, names, and dates, right? And this becomes a yearly type of activity. This is the continuous part of continuous improvement, moving forward in this process. And maybe there comes a point where we're meeting customer needs, you call it customer demands if you want, where we're meeting needs for quality, delivery, cycle time, those types. And then we get to go back and look at our dashboard again. Where's the next opportunity? So once we go through and when we've put together our future vision, we've got this little tool called the pick chart. It's PICK, right? Possible, and it's based on effort and benefit. Up here with the high effort, high benefit, that's called possible. Low effort, high benefit is implement. That's it's either low hanging fruit, or it's fruit lying on the ground ready to be picked up. Sometimes if it's high enough in the corner, it's fruit in the box ready to go on the truck. Right? So it's just a matter of finding those and executing them. If it's a low effort, low benefit, those are challenged. And if it's a high effort, low benefit, then those are in the K area, which is for kill. Those are opportunities that we decide, we're not going to do those. Maybe ever. We need to have a good reason of why. Why is it? It's usually because it's a material problem, or we're just not smart enough to know how to execute it. Like light speed, right? We're not going to be able to do that with the level of technology we have right now. So light speed is off the list of opportunities, but there's some others up here that we can go attack and go get some good benefit from. So here's another eye chart that talks about some of these. Our rapid improvement events, that's the term the Army uses. The rest of the world calls it Kaizen events. There's some strategic issues in the high effort, high benefit. And these DMAIC projects kind of fall in this middle area. And these we say no. So we go through and we have lots of places where we get inputs from for opportunities. Customer complaints, business concerns. Like business concerns would be like we're over budget on whatever in our internal operating budgets, right? That sort of thing. Improvement ideas, people just taking a look at how they do things and they start to ask why. Why do we do it like this when we build this statement of work, right? Or there's inefficient processes where there might be some measurements that are taken that are showing it's just out of control. So we throw it in the chugga machine. It goes through and we have some priority. You get some focus from the project sponsor. And we put together a team, create a charter, kick off the team, execute the opportunity. It's about that fast and it's about that easy. Ha ha.